Welcome back. Of course, we all remember Topher Grace, who entertained us for 8 seasons on that 70s show. But Britt, what's he up to now?
You know what? He is a very busy man, DC. As well as being a hugely successful movie star, Topher Grace is returning to his sitcom roots in another season of Home Economics. I spoke to him about his humble beginnings and working with Hollywood's elite.
What are you doing eating?
Well, it's mainly for survival.
He was a fan favourite on That 70s Show, and now Topher Grace is back on the small screen in Home Economics.
What happened?
I'm awake.
Next weekend?
Hells yeah.
The sitcom centres on the uncomfortable and hilarious dynamic of 3 siblings who live very different lives.
Your place is so snug.
Warm.
Intimate.
It's small.
Small with all this space?
Topher, it is so good to speak to you. Now, I know when you start a show, you kind of don't know how long it's going to run for, but you're heading into season 3 now of Home Economics. You must be so proud of it.
You know, I'm a producer on it, which I haven't done before in television. And the only reason I wanted to be a producer was to have this kind of dream team come together. I feel like I've been on a dream team before. And you don't know if it's going to happen again. And so now to do a show with adult siblings, there's so much humor in it, and it's something that so many of us have. I can't believe no one's done that show before.
I know everyone thinks that my career is thriving, but the
Tom.
And can I just say, I mean, watching you get hurt is very funny.
Well, then you're going to love the new season because that doesn't stop. It's not as fun as when I was in my 20s, but I'm glad it's fun for you. I think it's more that Tom is just really relatable. So when he gets hurt, you know, you feel it at home, you know?
All I'm saying is Daddy works really hard and nothing here is cheap.
except you.
Topher, I have to ask you about That 70s Show. It's a wonderful story because you had never acted before you got the role of Eric. So when did it actually hit you that your life was going to change forever?
I showed up at the audition. I mean, this was my first audition. They were clearly looking for, you know, like a real nerd. But I showed up with this resume and they read it and they're like, all right, there's nothing about acting on here. And then the headshot I brought was just me and my friends at Six Flags. So I had no idea what I was doing. And that continued through much of the first season of that show.
You gotta be really quiet.
Come on, it's me we're talking about. I'm like a cat.
Do you still get to catch up with the cast? Because obviously Mila and Ashton are together now. I mean, did you see that coming?
You know, we just all got together for one episode of this show they're doing called That 90s Show, which is a reboot of That 70s Show that's going to be on Netflix. They recreated the set. There's someone, you know, paid millions of dollars to have the set be exactly like when we spent time there. And it was like too nostalgic. It was just a really emotional week, actually. It was really great.
Never wound what you can't kill.
Topher has worked steadily in Hollywood for the past 2 decades, starring in rom-coms.
I love you, Rosie. I always have.
And intense dramas.
They asked if you bullied staff or sources, if you tried to physically intimidate people to get what you want.
Well, I hope you told them I regularly beat the shit out of you.
Okay, Topher, I want to play a little game with you because you've worked with some incredible actors over the years.
I hope this is in your game as I came to Sydney to work with Kate Blanchett, and she'd never say it because what do you guys call it there? Tall poppy syndrome or whatever?
Yeah, tall poppy
No one would ever admit it, especially her, but is probably the greatest actress alive. And I had it was her and Robert Redford's. It was an incredible film. And then to be doing it in Sydney and yeah, it's just such a wonderful country.
Well, you've kicked off the game really well. So I'm going to say the name of an actor and then you tell me the first thing that pops into your mind about them. Tobey Maguire when you worked on Spider-Man 3.
Tobey was incredibly nice, and I think I was kind of cast opposite him because I kind of look like him and was supposed to be like a different version of him. He's very involved in those films and just a lovely guy. This
one makes me a little emotional. Robin Williams, The Big Wedding.
Robin was everything everyone thinks about him, but none of the Hollywood stuff that people might go, was that guy a little, like, I mean, he was so down to earth. He came to a barbecue at my parents' house. Like, we were shooting it near where I grew up. And he was just like remarkably down to earth. The thing I really remember about that movie is the moments that he came up with improvising. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe what he was capable of. Everyone knows his gift, but to watch it live was really something.
What a nice guy, Brett.
In memory with Robin as well. And just such a great career, Topher. You forget how many films he's in. Truth, you guys need to see that with Blanchett. It's incredible. And Home Economics Season 3 is streaming on Stan now.
I can't believe he had never acted before that 70s
Right,
show.
I did not know that story. That's a great story.
Zero experience and just blew it away.
Oh, he owned it. Yeah. Thank you, Brett.
thanks,
Great
guys.
chat.
Still to come, footy finals fever heats up the AFL.